we have a special guest, and I will let you do the honors.
All right. I didn't think we had enough spookiness for Halloween in the markets this week, but we brought in probably our Halloween expert in real estate. Her name is Olga Pierce. She's president of Concierge Unlimited International, and among the many other things that Olga does is run one of the best Halloween parties in the city of Chicago. Good morning, Olga.
Thank you. Good morning. Nice to be here. Thank you for welcoming me.
Tell us a little, your party was last night.
Our party was last night, and it was at the Spooky Rookery, beautiful historical building.
Sure.
And we had a blast. We had about 400 people coming through the doors, and there were a lot of spirits, a lot of ghosts, and a lot of wonderful people, and a lot of real estate spirits, Steve.
Right. Now, am I right in saying that a few downtown developer ghosts might have showed up at this party?
They showed up. They came out of the grave, some of them out of the hiding.
You're scaring the heck out of the staff, I can tell you that much. They're running for cover here.
We had a good time.
They're running for cover.
Now, these kinds of parties that you put on, this one specifically directed at the commercial real estate industry, that's part of your business, right? It's where you aim.
Yes, it's really part of our businesses, and as a corporate concierge company, we're involved with the tenant representative, the property manager, to really enhance the beautiful maintenance of the tenants, to showcase the building, and we are very much involved in tenant appreciation parties.
Now, in the late 80s and the 80s, when there were high-rolling developers all over the place, they were buying this service to lure new tenants into the building.
It was a great marketing tool.
Is that still true today, even as those people have maybe disappeared a little bit?
I believe, actually, that the 89, 90 was very nice to us, very good to us, and now I believe we set a very nice ground for standard, specifically for the luxury corporate buildings, the A buildings ratings, and also, as we say, the buildings which are competing in the market for the service and maintenance. And we've been very fortunate to grow, and the corporate concierge now is quite known commodity in the real estate market, and tenants do request to have that party on board when they're choosing building.
And what kinds of services do you provide that those tenants might like, and that the building owners kind of wish to have you around to provide?
Well, it'll go back again to a lot of the tenant appreciation parties for the tenants, but individually, companies, corporations will ask us to help them to organize their summer party, their holiday party. And of course, this way they don't need to hire a meeting planner, so they're saving money right there because we're on board. And we also help them with additional entertainment for their individual clients, as well as organizing trips. We do a lot of last-minute trips, business trips. We organize those. We have special resources to different travel agents, so we can kind of really find very good budget travel. And of course, tickets, entertainment is always the key of fine restaurants, dining, or selection of such. We had just last week, we had a client who wanted us to book a Tour d'Argent, and it was very interesting because Chicago Tribune had a very special article about it just several weeks ago on the trip to Ritz-Carlton and how they where to eat and how they talked to the concierge and how lucky they were to get into Tour d'Argent in Paris. And our client just asked us on Thursday, we had a Tour d'Argent at 7 o'clock the next day, 7 p.m. reservation, and so that again is very
got a clout.
Yes.
Yeah, a little cloud. We got a spooky cloud.
Well, again, those are the kinds of services that building owners not going to be able to give to their tenants, but they can say, look, we've got this concierge service that can
corporate gifts. Another one, corporate gifts specifically right now. Holiday gifts. That suggestions, selections, finding these things, and be specific to the client's taste. So we've been very much utilized by the property management as well to find the right gift for their clients, for their tenants, because hopefully we gather something which we called client profile. And so therefore we're trying to be more specific and individualized in choosing the right gift for this tenant office or that tenant office or the specific individual.
You get a lot of unusual requests. What are some of the stranger ones that have crossed your desk?
Stranger ones, well, the most popular one is, of course, about the tarantula.
The tarantula?
Tarantula. to...
That's a popular request?
Well, it was one of those which Steve always says, give me something unusual. And so this was pretty unusual.
Okay.
And we were able to, because of our connections, we were able to have it delivered. Normally, they do not deliver. You have to pick it up yourself. And
Any idea why they wanted it?
it was $29.99. It was a birthday shocker.
That would do it, yes. Yes, indeed.
It was one of those. And then, of course, camels. We ordered camels.
Of course, camels.
We got camels for somebody who did a party for a special holiday party, and they wanted to have a big entree. They wanted to have something shocking when the group of 500 is celebrating their holiday. And so originally they wanted really to book an elephant. And we could have gotten an elephant, but the only issue, and that's quite interesting, and I'm sure that for people who know animals, you know, it may be interesting to know, and they are already in knowledge of that, that elephant cannot travel in specific temperature when it's too cold, where camel can, because camel, you know, the nights in deserts are very cold.
Where do you find people who know that?
So there we are. So we did that, and then we do.
Do you have a couple of special disguises with you today?
Oh, I brought you a few disguises. As you know, there's
stuff.
Well,
a lot of Halloween traditions, and you know, forgive me that it's packed this way, but this came right straight from Mexico. We had our special connection fly to Mexico and bring about 400 of these for yesterday parties, and they were being given as, these are normally given as the treats for the dead.
Are those shells?
These are made in sugar,
Is your
and
treat
they're
for the
especially
dead?
made in, you know, in Mexico, and it's one of the tradition they have.
Is this whole bottom thing sugar, too?
This is, everything is done out of sugar.
Wow.
They're handmade, they're all edible, and they're healthy, because this part here is actually, you know, these are the seeds.
I believe I saw
It's like a
some
great breakfast.
Class C building owners putting these out in front of their properties last night.
And if the classy owners would like to be disguised,
Spruce
You
things
know?
up a little bit.
Oh,
You know?
right. Now that looks like a building owner who's just gotten through a negotiation with a tough tenant rep, right?
tenant rep, and I think we have one of the
You can
Future
go as a
business.
real. No, that's an absentee landlord.
Yes.
I believe I've seen them lurking around my neighborhood.
I want to try them.
Steve, it looked great.
Yeah.
And then we have one more here just to show you. I think this is a gold tooth.
Ah,
Oh, my gosh.
That's right. That
That's a
would
huge-
appear to be a leasing tenant rep after he gets his commission check. Realize how much work he did for
Goes.
us.
Thanks for the sugar.
Oh,
This
you
will be
better
great.
look of you. And of course, you know, at our party yesterday, we always have these specially brewed. It's the voodoo beer.
Black and Voodoo beer.
Black and
beer.
voodoo beer.
There it is. Naturally, that's
Soon to be a public company.
casting spells on the real estate business. Well, see, and you didn't think Halloween was a real estate holiday.
I'll be darned.
Here
Is
we
it any
have-
good?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Is it?
I wish it was colder so you can taste it right now, but I brought them here for
can't do
you.
that
So
on the
there's
air.
several,
No,
hopefully.
no.
Not on
FCC
the
will come
show.
after us.
For props only.
Right.
Well, boy, we have used up the majority of the show. I want to ask Control Room if we could put up the email address for Steve CUICIUCh. This is a way you can communicate with him. The address for Steve CUICIUCH, sktrifecta@aol.com. sktrifecta@aol.com. One question for you, Olga, that was phoned in. How long have you been doing this? Colin wants to know.
Well, in the corporate real estate since 1989, and we incorporated the company as actually the first company in the United States which came up with this concept, and that was in 1982.
Right.
We brought the hotel concierge concept into the public and corporate market. So we currently have concierges in corporate buildings, but we also offer private concierge to busy individuals and also to corporations, individual corporations. So currently we have a base of 73,000, and you can hire us directly on project fee basis or retainer on yearly, which a lot of business people do. So they use us as really kind of we're additional assistant hand, you know, which helps
Right.
when maybe support staff is away or executive assistant is too busy with their regular business to do, and you have last-minute situation, whether they're hotel room or whether it was in the past Princess Di flying into Chicago.
Yeah,
I told
sure.
Steve we booked Princess Di here. Unfortunately, of course,
Yes.
she's gone, but that was one of our highlights when People magazine asked us in New York to help us to clear 35 rooms for her entourage, and we called it Reg Hotel, and suggested that they should. They laughed, but
This
we
would be good
suggested.
business.
An easy
Yeah.
thing to do in
We
Chicago.
said, you will not regret that.
Yeah.
So nothing too big, nothing too small. Camels
We
to
gotta-
Camels,
tarantulas,
boats, planes.
spiders.
Got to wrap this up,
Fighters.
unfortunately. Quickly, Steve, what's ahead for the column this Sunday?
Okay, well, these are probably horror stories. We're going to look at some cyber real estate sites and things that held a whole lot of promise a couple of years ago, and today are merely ghosts of their former selves. So technology, not everything it's cracked up to be.
All right. Steve, thank you very much. See you next week. Appreciate it. Olga Pierce heads up Concierge Unlimited Incorporated. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for being here. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, thanks for the sugar. I appreciate it.
Sugar and masks. Anybody wants to go as a real estate developer?
We have several rooms still tucked away if you
That is the Real Estate Show, and we appreciate you tuning in. It's a co-production of the Stock Market Observer and the Chicago Tribune. And thank you for being along. Coming up, news just ahead on your most complete source for business news. This is the Stock Market Observer.